Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy New Year. It is time, finally, for just a word from the Word. Before we get into our passage and into the devotion this morning, let me just say a couple of things. First of all, I apologize. I have not been able to be online since Monday morning. Some of you saw my post on Facebook. Um, I somehow very deeply scratched my left eye and had to go to the emergency room Tuesday um, and am really just now doing good enough to where I can read a scripture so that I can do this devotion. Thank you for all those who have prayed for me. Things are still really blurry, but I can see well enough to read our verses. And so, with that, our passage this morning comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verses 19 and 20, and I'm reading from the King James. Here's what it says. God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. Unfortunately, I do not have time in this devotion to get into the depths of what these two verses really mean. So let me just summarize it as best as I can. According to the book of Hebrews, Isaac represents walking after the Spirit. Ishmael represents walking after the flesh. Ishmael was conceived because Abraham and Sarah tried to figure out a way to make God's promises come to pass on their own. They didn't do it in God's timing. They didn't do it with God's blessing. They did it in their own wisdom, on their own timetable, because they were impatient with God. That's how we are with our flesh, isn't it? When we try to do things in our own strength and our own power, we get impatient. We get outside of God's timing. We get outside of God's will. Now, things might work and things might go okay, but it's a work of the flesh. Isaac, however, was miraculously conceived through an act of the Spirit of God, because God had a plan for Abraham and Sarah's seed. It was covenant. It was relationship. Ishmael was blessed. He got things done. He had a lot of strength physically. But Isaac and his seed brought forth the Messiah, Jesus, because wasn't about blessing. It was about covenant. Here's this morning's just a word from the Word. Walk in the Spirit, and you will not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. We can get a lot done in our fleshly wisdom, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't. There's lots that we can learn and lots that we can apply. And it can be blessed. We can get some things accomplished. It can feel good and feel right. But do you just want blessing? Or do you want covenant? Blessing means that in this context, you can get things done and that it can be done well. Covenant in this context represents deep, God ordained relationship. Blessing's going to follow covenant, but it just depends on what do you have priority in. Walk in the Spirit so that you don't fulfill the lust of the flesh. Walking by faith, not by sight, is how we are called to walk. This has been just a word from the Word. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Have an amazing weekend. Stay safe. I think where I live, we're supposed to get ice and then snow on Sunday. So I don't know what kind of snow apocalypse you might have coming. But stay safe. God bless you. And Lord willing, I won't do anything crazy to my eyes again. And we will see you Monday morning. God bless you.